Welcome to the Grow Your Business Cleveland video series. Co-producing and appearing in the series, the talented GYB CLE interns. Supporting sponsors include NOAC, a regional partnership of Chambers of Commerce. New Image Media, Northeast Ohio's most recognized name in video for business.
In this episode, David Andrews, employment attorney and litigator, shares 3 great human resources tips for successful small businesses. After the tip, we go backstage to learn how David applies boxing philosophies to legal careers, shares the most violated law in business, how he lives his baseball dreams, and more.
I'm David Andrews, employment attorney. DIY HR, 3 great tips for successful small businesses. Small businesses do not have large HR staffs to help you work through all the complicated employment laws. So we've come up with 3 really quick steps to help you manage and navigate your way through the complex web of employment regulations. First is spend some time thinking about your employment policies. It's always so much better when you've thought about what's best for your business and what's best for your employees before a situation presents itself. When a situation arises, you tend to make decisions based on who that person is, not necessarily what's best for your business. So just take a little time, think through the policies, and you'll be off to a great start with your HR. Second is to document. And people say, Dave, I don't have time to document. It takes way too much time to write up a form or come up with some disciplinary notice. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is spend 15 seconds and send yourself an email. If one of your employees is late and you've had to talk to them about it on a regular basis, just shoot yourself a short email. Emily was late. Right there on the email, you've got the date and you've got the time. You're all set to go for your documentation. The third step is never make an emotional decision on your employment issues, whether it's hiring or it's firing. And most often we see it in the firing situation. Somebody's made you really mad. You're upset about the situation. They've really damaged the company and hurt the productivity of the company, but don't feel like you've got to make a decision today. Send the person home. Buy yourself a little time. Preferably talk to your HR lawyer who can help you sort through the various laws that you have to consider before you make the final decision. So there you have it. 3 do-it-yourself, simple HR steps to make your small business a great success.
Up next, we get to know David. The late Muhammad Ali inspired many people during his life, including David. See how David applies Ali's philosophy in his legal practice.
Yes, the float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, I think, is my favorite quote. For me in my business career, I think that's kind of sums up in a very short way kind of how I've been as successful as I have been. The floating like the butterfly is just kind of hanging out, hearing things, learning from other people in your environment, and the stinging like a bee is when you're ready to make a move and when you're ready to make a decision. You've floated around for a while and kind of gotten your information. Now you go, and you're stinging like a bee, and you're going fast, and you're being decisive in your career path and in what you want and how you define success in your career. So that quote, I think, really nicely summarizes those 2 pieces right there in that one small little quote.
As the great Babe Ruth once said, baseball was, is, and always will be to me the best game in the world.
Yeah, my ultimate dream job is to take Tom Hamilton's job as the radio announcer for the Indians. That would be my ultimate dream job, to be able to be around baseball on a daily basis like that would be absolutely awesome. There's a runner on first with 2 outs. Up comes Yan Gomes to the plate. It's a line drive over the third base bag, down the line and into the corner. Rajay Davis rounding third. He's got to try to score. The throw. He is safe at the plate. I grew up a baseball fan. I grew up in Florida, in what was then the spring training home of the Dodgers, and I would skip school every March to go see spring training games. Not that I advise that, but it was a lot of fun. And I've carried that with me, and now it's great to live in a major league city where there's the Indians 80 games a year, which is a whole lot of fun. And I had the opportunity to go to Indians fantasy camp last year, which is really, really fun experience. You get to play baseball for a week and hang out with former Major League Baseball players and learn from them and get coached up by them and remember how old you are when you're trying to run to first base and all that kind of stuff. But I got the opportunity to to pitch to former major leaguer Rick Manning. If any of you guys know who he is, he's an old-time 1970s. So he's 62 years old now. And I'm thinking, all right, I got this guy. I can pitch to him. First pitch I throw, down and in. He drops the barrel of the bat on it. It is gone to right field. One pitch to Rick Manning, and he hit a home run off of me. So.
In an always changing industry, David has to keep up with the new laws in human resources.
One of the really hot legal issues for small employers right now is wage and hour claims. And what that means is how people are paid. There are so many different laws that govern businesses and how they pay, from when people start to when they take breaks, to the various exemptions that are available to not pay overtime pay. All of those things are extremely complicated, and I think it's probably the most violated law in America, not because employers are bad in any way, shape, or form, but because there's so many complex rules to follow. So for any small business, with how hot those claims are right now, I'd encourage you to take the time to review with somebody who really has knowledge about what those laws are so that you're fully in compliance. One recent example that I had in my legal practice is a company who had mischaracterized two of their employees as exempt from overtime laws when they really weren't. They weren't doing the kinds of things that were necessary in order to make them exempt. And the amount of back wages that was owed to those employees was $10,000. In the grand scheme of things, not a huge number, but ultimately that company ended up faced with a $200,000 bill because of all the legal fees associated with not only paying me to defend the case, but even when there's a tiny little violation, they've got to pay the employees' legal fees as well. So even small violations can turn into really big dollars.
So, how did David score as a Grow Your Business Cleveland expert? We gave a thumbs up for great human resources tips, baseball announcer impressions, encouraging us to seize opportunities, and floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee.
Special thanks goes to our Grow Your Business Cleveland contributing experts for supporting our mission of growing business and kickstarting careers in Northeast Ohio. So don't miss a video or an opportunity to be part of the show. Subscribe at GYBCLE.com and follow us on our social media channels. And remember, if you like it, share it.